will Nigeria make it to the fourth floor? Gentlemen, welcome back. That was the closing ceremony, very colorful indeed. And of course, we also had colorful scenes here in studio, many asking Nisambazie Keki, but that's talk for another moment. Taiwo, it is now serious business. Nigeria taking on hosts Ivory Coast. Your expectations very quickly?
I think it's going to be a very attacking, free-flowing football match. I hope both teams, go for the win. I think Ivory are going to have a lot of pressure to win, whereas Nigeria, I think they've had very good performances. They're very good at attacking, and I think they may just be like, well, we've got nothing to lose, so we can go for it. So I think it will be a good attacking football match, and I hope to see a lot of goals.
Goals, is what Tai was looking, up to more so from a striker's point of view, midfielder striker's point of view. But Musa, from a defender's point of view, goals, have been going out there. 116 goals, scored in the tournament. A lot of them, but defenders always try as much as possible not to, concede goals. And Nigeria are coming into this with a very mean defense. Orange only conceded 2 goals. Only one in open play.
Well, first of all, if you look at the game, it is a sense of how you deploy yourself. Because if you look at the formation which Nigeria are playing, in a sense that whenever they lose the ball, what happens is the first player who loses the ball. Because we normally look at the end, where the ball has ended. But sometimes it starts from the striker. And you can see for them, it's a team which is well drilled. They know what they are doing. Once they lose the ball, they're playing compact, the way we were talking about mean. And it is a team which, if you look at it very carefully, it is having a core in football in a sense that there is a goalkeeper who is very strong, the centre-back is very good, the captain. And for them, they're playing as a unit. They're playing a team which we talk about the technical, the tactical side of football. But when you talk about the mental now, when Ivory Coast are talking about the mental side of it, this is a team which has been coming down twice in a game. It tells you that on the mental side, they are strong to say that, hey, they cannot lose a game. And now they're playing at home. For me, to my opinion, it is a team which I think they have reached a place where nobody wanted them to be. And it is going to be a very tight game, more tactical, with less goals. Because it is a matter of now, hey, we are playing a strong team. How can you adapt? And the formation, how are you going to apply whatever they have learned to the last few games, or approach of the game?
Of the last 10 finals, we've only seen 10 goals scored, and of the 10 goals, the last 4, ended into goalless draws going into penalties. 6 of the last 12 finals have gone into penalties. Are we likely to see the same? Remember, this has been a tournament of surprises, ups and downs, very unpredictable. Let me engage Waziri into this and just ask Waziri that, I know you are really rooting for the East African nation, that's Tanzania. Tanzania not made it, but we've seen a tournament that has been very unpredictable. The usual suspects never made it through. In the quarterfinals, we didn't have any of the nations that was there in the previous Cup of Nations, making it, previous quarterfinals, making it through. Not even any of the nations that made it to the World Cup to represent Africa. The usual suspects, Egypt, we know Ghana were never there, Tunisia, Algeria. Now that it's very unpredictable, Waziri, and Tanzania is not there, who would you be going for to win in this match tonight? Is it Nigeria or Ivory Coast?
The winner, obviously, is African football. This has been an incredible exhibition of African football. The unpredictability, the scenario where anybody has been able to pretty much beat anybody, the so-called lesser or countries with the so-called lower profile. I mean, we have seen countries like Cape Verde do incredibly well, Equatorial Guinea. It has been a great show of how far African football has come. And this is a dream final. It's really a dream final. A West African derby, 2 countries that already have the pedigree of being champions of Africa. Nigeria has done it 3 times. Cote d'Ivoire has done it twice. They have met already in this tournament. Of course, so you have 2 teams that have a very good knowledge of each other. You'll also have two teams that are star-studded right through the spine, with a lot of attacking strengths. But both teams have actually not lived up to the pre-tournament hype. I mean, one would have expected these teams to be blasting opponents away, going by the pre-tournament analysis or predictions. So it's been a bit of a slow burner for both of them, but they are here, which really speaks to their pedigree. Cote d'Ivoire made it by the skin of their teeth, literally skin of their teeth, making the final. But the fact that they're here says a lot about their character, says a lot about their big game players like Sebastian Haller, players like Fofana. And so one would expect that having come this far and having survived what you can consider to be really a brush with death, one would imagine that they want to go ahead and finish this off. Nigeria has done well, big players too. Victor Osimhen, you feel, has really not hit the heights. Lookman has done well. So you feel that maybe this might be the moment when both teams really come to their element. But honestly, I expect a rather cagey start to this game, a rather cagey affair. I don't think it's going to be gung-ho, go for it from the go.
Cagey affair, indeed, it might turn out to be like many finals in the African Cup of Nations have come. But Waziri has brought in a very, important angle to our discussion this evening as we prepare for this. And I'll put you to task on this, Taiwo, being, somebody who always thinks about goals and going up front. We have Victor Osimhen, like Waziri says, he might not have lived up to expectation. But I'll quote what his coach Pereiro says. He doesn't play like a star, but he fights for the team. Of all the goals Nigeria has scored in this tournament, they've been scored by different players. And not different players. By 3 goals have been scored by Lookman. Then Ekong, their defender, funnily enough, has scored 2 goals so far into this. Victor Osimhen might not be doing the business in terms of scoring goals. What about his presence in that team?
Yeah, I think he's been very effective because strikers don't always have to score goals in order to create goal-scoring opportunities. And I think when one of the matches where he's closed down the defender, won the ball, and then he slipped it through to his fellow teammate who went on and scored. So I think what I've been impressed by is his pressing. He's been a handful. He's gotten the defenders to move that ball quickly, and if they haven't, he's snatched it and he's created goal-scoring opportunities. So I think he's a very good player. He's fast, he's strong, and he knows when to pass the ball, and he's not greedy. I like strikers like that. I was one of the...
Spoken about this team this is the second time meeting because the first in the group stages Nigeria won 1-0, and you find that the formation which they played it is going to be a totally different ball game in the final. Which plan are they going to come and use? And once they're having these big names in their team, it's always a worry to the opposition because they don't know who's going to come in and they don't know which plan they're going to use because it's like foundation. And for them, if you look at Nigeria itself, first of all, Lookman is scoring from what? Somebody somewhere is doing something. Somebody somewhere is moving. For him to get the ball.
I think they'll win.
The consistency in this defense clearly shows that the stability that forms into this, because when you look at the Nigerian team, the team movement has always been critical and it's been marshaled very well by their captain, that's Ekong, in that defense. He pushes the players and he knows when to fall back. The Nigerian squad, Ajayi, Ekong, Basay in that defense. Then in the midfield, Aina, Onyeka, Iwobi, Sanusi. Then they have a 3-man attack force, but only Osimhen is left up there. It's more or less the same squad, just changed tactically. Is the change as a result of the opponent that they're playing today, that they're not going flat out, Musa?
Yes, for sure. Because they're having 24 men who are coming to play with the league in the tournament, and in a sense that formation is just static. I remember when the game starts, people are moving. Now the system of play comes in. And the way they are playing a very strong team, we are playing at home, more defensive. In a way, it's just a matter of playing mind game with the Ivorians, because maybe they are talking about somebody was coming into play, and then all of a sudden he's not in the squad. What happens to the coach? Does he have a plan B? And we normally talk about the bench. The bench is always even more stronger than the guy who was starting, because look at Ivory Coast, what they have been doing. Every time there is a sub, the sub changes the game. It's not a matter of bringing somebody and then the team goes down. And with Nigeria, hey, my friend, you know, it reminds me there's a time which we played Nigeria, you know, the Kanu, and that's the time when Victor Kpeba was Victor Kpeba in Monaco. So I was marking Kanu, and then if I'm looking on the warm-up, Victor Kpeba is warming up, and that is just the same as Nigerian team. You know, the star-studded, like we don't know who's going to come in and play where.
Victor, what goes through your mind when you see a super sub coming in, like you're saying, you're marking Kanu, you see Kpeba warming up, and you know trouble is coming? What goes through your mind, the mental strength?
I remember I told you about the mental strength, you know, in a sense that now we were 3-0 down, and now, you know, Victor Kpeba was the king of Monaco, and now Kanu was at that time playing for Ajax. It was like, you know, it was a long day for me. The defense which was there in the Kenyan
You don't
team.
take injuries that coach, I need to go out.
You can't, because people were watching for you as a captain. You know, it's just like you call me and I was like, hey, Musa, you are the captain now. You need to carry the ship. But now Kanu makes damages. Now Victor Kpeba is coming in. You know, you wonder what is going to happen. But again, with the Nigerian team, it is just a matter of formation. In the sense that how are they going to use it or deploy it? The time which they have the ball, when they lose the ball, how are they going to do it as a team?
It's formations all through, and it's mental strength. You can imagine Musa Otieno, the captain, marking Nwankwo Kanu. Then you see Victor Kpeba coming in. You know trouble is coming. But that's football. Mental strength carries the day. Well, remember, we are scattered all through, and Kenyans are waiting with a lot of excitement this match. And we have our reporters out there. Dan Mwendwa, as we speak, is at the Kikau Lounge, you know, engaging fans to just see what the fans have in mind. Dan, if you can hear me, what's happening at the Kikau Lounge, and what are the fans talking about or saying about this game? What's the expectation?
Much Amfa Apidi, kama unavyoona ni kana kwamba tuko katika kituo cha burudani cha Kikao, ambapo runinga ya KBC imeleta pamoja mashabiki kutoka maeneo mbalimbali ili kuweza kuja kushuhudia mechi ya fainali kati ya Cote d'Ivoire na Nigeria hapa. Kama unavyojua ni kana kwamba mpiga picha wangu kama ataweza kuonyesha, ni kana kwamba unaona biashara huku inaendelea kama kawaida. Mashabiki wamekuwa wengi, mashabiki wamekuwa kwa wingi, wamekuwa wakijitosa, na unaona kwamba usalama umeimarishwa pia, kwa sababu ukiangalia kama siku zingine kulingana na taarifa ambazo tumepata ni kana kwamba mambo hayajakuwa yakiendelea hivyo. Unakavyoona ni kana kwamba mashabiki kutoka pande zote humu nchini wameweza kuja. Kama nikupe tu maneno kidogo kuhusiana na finali hii, ni kana kwamba timu ya soka ya Nigeria ambayo kwa almaarufu inajulikana kama kwamba Super Eagle itakuwa ikijitosa ugani kuwania taji yake ya 4 ya bara Afrika itakapomenyana na Cote d'Ivoire. Ni kana kwamba hii ndio mara ya kwanza ambayo finali hii inaandaliwa, pengine baada ya Misri kufanya hivyo mwaka 2006. Na tukiongea na mashabiki kadha wa kadha, pengine atuambie jina yake, pengine utuambie jina yako, utuambie unaitwa nani, una support timu gani leo?
Naitwa Patrick. Mimi ni team Ivory Coast, and we hope for a nice match.
Una support Ivory Coast pengine sio Cote d'Ivoire?
Mimi kusema ukweli, timu zangu zilikuwa na support zilitimuliwa huko kwa qualifications, lakini so far nimeamua kusettle on Ivory Coast.
Wachezaji wengi wamekuwa wakishiriki mashindano, pengine wengine wanachezea timu za timu za kigeni, wengine wanachezea pengine timu pia za bara Afrika. Pengine kwako nani unafikiri anafaa kupokea taji la mchezaji bora barani Afrika?
Kwa sasa labda hii finali ikiisha ndio tunaweza tambua. So far most probably anaweza kuwa Nigeria.
Asante sana. Pengine pia tukiungana na shabiki mwingine, pengine utuambie jina lako ni nani, una support timu gani leo?
Mimi naitwa Pius. Niko team Ivory Coast. Yeah. Ivory Coast nimejua for long kupitia legends wao kama tuseme Didier Drogba. Na kinaza though ku make to the team. So naona the wako na home advantage. So chances they are more likely to win the title.
Ya mwaka huu pengine yamekuwa yakihusisha pengine yameonekana timu nyingi ambazo zimekuwa zikishiriki mashindano zikitolewa kwenye hatua ya awamu ya makundi. Pengine hii inaashiria nini?
Hii ni kuonyesha kwamba hii AFCON timu zenye wengi walikuwa wameunderrate zimeweza ku outperform na Membi walikuwa wamejipanga more than the other teams. So hiyo ndio imefanya Membi kuwa na some changes na surprises mingi zenye watu wengi Membi hawange expect.
Hao ni baadhi ya mashabiki tutakuwa tukiwaelezea pengine timu ya KBC pia ipo kwa wingi, wanaendelea kujiburudisha na tutakuwa tukikujuza mengi zaidi jinsi yanavyoendelea. Kwako Amfa Apidi.
Thank you very much, Dan. Of course, a very excited, team up there, and some going for Ivory Coast. But remember, that is their side of the bread, which is buttered. Here in studio, like mentioned earlier on, we won't talk much about that as we keep an eye on the time. Crossing over to Tiras Wayaki to just find out what are the rest saying here in studio. Is it Ivory Coast? Is it Nigeria? I know earlier on you'd even picked the Nigerian accent, but as Karaoke Thige would say, Opira Osetwe. How set are you on that side?
We're very, very set. You've reminded me of that song, Kati ya Manu na Arsenali Gani Kali. So we'll find out from Thige. Karaoke Thige is actually my better-looking twin. We started with him this journey in the year 2000, Metro TV, and grew into KBC Channel 1 with it. Metro TV was a subsidiary of KBC. And just before we get to Karaoke Thige, let me take this opportunity to say a warm welcome to Pauline Shegu. Pauline Shegu was a colleague of ours here back in the day, and she's now working under Honorable Ababu Namwamba in the Ministry of Sports and Creative Economy. So Pauline, welcome back and good luck. She's now a rally driver, by the way, and good luck to her in this year's WRC Safari Rally and the other WRC rallies. Good luck, my dear sister. Karaoke Thige, Kenyans are happy to see you. And we want to know very quickly, between Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire, which one is more likely to carry the day?
Well, thank you very much, Tiras. Really, as you say, Kenyans are happy to see me. I am overjoyed for the opportunity to be able to be part of this wonderful presentation of AFCON by KBC Channel 1. And what a better day than an evening graced by the Sports Cabinet Secretary himself. It really feels great to be here. Getting into the matters of the game, Nigeria versus Ivory Coast, a lot has been spoken by Musa, Taiwo, and Apidi as well, and even Waziri throwing in some words there. It's going to be a tight game, yes, but then Ivory Coast, being the home team, will have an edge over Nigeria on this. But then at the end of the day, if you ask me, the game is going to be won in the midfield. Iwobi and how he performs will dictate a lot, or will relay a lot into the Nigerian chances. On the side of Ivory Coast, Seko Fofana and Frank Kessie hold the keys to their possible success. But I believe it's going to remain at home.
Oh, yeah, it's coming home. Well, thank you so much for your remarks, Karaoke. We've also got Maximiu. Maximiu has been doing the Swahili commentaries, or rather analysis, on KBC Channel 1 during this Africa Cup of Nations. So I might just have to switch to Swahili. And just be warned, my Swahili is as impeccable as that of our brothers in Tanzania, our co-hosts for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Simiu, karibu sana nyumbani mwanangu. Sasa nikuulize, kati ya Ivory Coast ambao wanacheza nyumbani na Thige anasema mcheza nyumbani hutuzwa. Wewe unaonaje? Ni majirani Nigeria au kutoka hapo hiyo West African Circuit wataenda nayo nyumbani ama it's coming home?
Kimtazamo kwa mtazamo wangu mwanzo kabisa. Asante sana kwa mwaliko. Na furaha kwamba siku leo tumekuwa na waziri ambaye ameweza kutupa chance na ile talanta ile ambayo tunaipania kuiona ikifaulu katika michezo mwanzo. Na kimtazamo ni kwamba mwanzo Waswahili usema mcheza kwao utuzwa. Na ukiangalia timu ya Ivory Coast wako na ule mchezaji wa 12 ambaye ni defense na ukiangalia ile msururu ambao wamekuwa nao ni haijakuwa msururu wa matokeo mazuri ambao wenyewe walikuwa wanatarajia. Na cha pili vile ambao mwenzangu amesema, mpira unacheza pale katikati. Na usipokuwa na wale wachezaji ambao ni makini sana pale katikati, ukiangalia timu ya Ivory Coast wako na Fofana, wako na ule mchezaji wa kitambo sana ambaye anaitwa Seri. Si Seri Kunradi, wako na mchezaji Seri pia ni mchezaji ambaye anacheza pale katikati, na wako na Fofana. Fofana ukiangalia ni mchezaji ambaye ukiangalia robo finali vile alivyocheza na nusu finali pia ambapo walikuwa na mchezaji mmoja ambaye alikuwa amepewa kadi nyekundu. Ni mchezaji ambaye alijituma sana akiwa na ule Francis Kessie. Yeah. So Nigeria wako na kazi ngumu sana siku leo. Iwapo watajituma kadri ya uwezo wao, wataibuka washindi, lakini wenyeji Ivory Coast wako na chance nyingi sana kushinda mchezo huu. Asante.
Whoa. Okay. Back to Ivory Coast, where Amfa Pidi and his team are doing the runs for us. Thank you so much for keeping it AFCON KBC Channel 1.
Thank you very much, Tiras, and of course, Karaoke Thige, Mike, on the other side. We appreciate Musa. Let's go into this from an Ivory Coast side. We are seeing a rejuvenated, one would say a reborn, a nation reborn in the Cup of Nations. And very quickly, in their first match that they played, in the game they played against Nigeria, they lost, but they had everything going for them. 64% in terms of ball possession. They had 14 shots on target, 14 shots, only 3 on target, but still lost the game. That was the first home defeat against Nigeria in home soil. How do they prepare mentally and physically for this game, knowing that they're playing against an opponent who is coming in with all that it takes to win the match?
Yeah, first of all, we just talk about the fans, which is the 12th player, in a sense of, I talk about the mental side. And it's a team which is very dangerous in a sense that, for me, this is a team which has been to the 2 finals and they have lost. And now they're going to play at home. Chances of them winning is very high. And it's just a matter of, hey, they make a stupid mistake, they're being punished. So they're going to be so cautious. Remember, I talked about the formation which they played in the first stage with Nigeria. Nigeria came up with a twist. And now all of a sudden now, there's a player who's not even there. So for them, they're going to be so cautious. Get an interim coach who has come in, has given them that move to say that, hey, you guys are believing in yourself. Everybody's behind them. Remember the last time when we played Nigeria here in 1997? Everybody was behind us. And I foresee a shocker. Ivory Coast winning this match.
Ivory Coast carrying the day. Let's get to engage you on this, Taiwo, very quickly. When we look at the way the Ivory Coast team plays, they are like an incandescent lamp that takes time to heat up to get full illumination. They come into the game very slowly, but eventually they come in with very late goals and come back into the game. Are we likely to see them throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, from the word go, or a cautious Ivory Coast like they've always played?
I mean, look, at any level in professional football, matches are won and lost in midfield. And I think Nigeria's midfielders are superior, and I think they're going to control the game. I think Ivory are going to have, obviously, their chances, but they have to take them. I think Nigeria's defence are too strong, maybe, for them. But, when you look at their Nigerian attack, I just can't see how they're not going to score goals. And when they get their chances, they're typically taking them. So I think 51% Nigeria is going to win. 51%,
Nigeria, Ivory Coast. Let's get Waziri's brief in less than 30 seconds. Waziri, where do you see this going in the first half?
Mcheza kwao utuzwa.
Well said, mcheza kwao utuzwa.
Mcheza kwao utuzwa, and it has been a tough journey to the final for Cote d'Ivoire. And they got momentum going for them. The 12th player. I've sat in that Alassane Ouattara Stadium and packed to the rafters. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mcheza kuwa hutunzwa na hutuzwa. Will that be the case, or will Lightning strike trust? Let's enjoy the first half and see you at halftime.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, connecting us with one purpose: to create